If you've got a full head of thick, coarse, and sometimes frizzy and unruly hair, even if it's going gray, this is the video for you. Hi, I'm Trish and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I hope to earn your subscription today. My whole life, people have asked me how on earth do I manage my crazy thick and coarse hair? It hasn't always been easy, but over the years, I've figured out some basic tips and tricks that I'm going to share with you today, as well as all the basic tools and natural products that I need to make my hair look great. The first is to make sure you choose a good shampoo and follow these basic rules for washing. Don't wash my hair more than once or twice per week, and make sure to shampoo only the root and scalp. I always think of it as I shampoo my scalp and I condition my hair. The number one thing that I do is to pre-wash my hair. I've already done that in the shower, and I'm showing you now my second wash, where you get lots of suds forming. You need to make sure to rinse it completely away, and then you're going to condition your hair. The number one thing I've learned over the years is when using a natural conditioner especially, I need to make sure to apply it to the hair and not the root, and not scrub it into the hair with the hand. Make sure to use a nice wet brush like this one and brush it into your hair. I literally will brush my hair for several minutes while I'm in the shower with the conditioner in, and you'll notice after a minute, as you're brushing it, your hair will start to feel like absolute silk. Then you know you're ready to rinse it out, and make sure to rinse it out completely. Once you've fully rinsed out the conditioner out of your hair, it's time to remove the majority of the moisture. Do this with a microfiber hair wrap, and it wicks the moisture away so well. Make sure to gently press and squeeze, don't twist, and don't skip this step. Trust me, look how dry my hair is already. Whether you're going to air dry or blow dry your hair, it's important to add a protectant. Just a few drops of a beautiful reparative hair oil will add moisture, shine, protect it from heat, reduce frizz, and protect it from breakage. Make sure you start with just 1 or 2 drops. Thick and coarse hair needs more oil. But my hair, trust me, it is extremely thick and coarse. I've had hairstylists my whole life, jaws drop as when they feel my hair, and I only use about 5 to 7 drops. So gently work it into your hair with your hands, avoid the root, and then use either a paddle brush or a regular brush with soft bristles and brush it through from the top to the ends. Do not add this oil to your scalp or your hairline unless you're using it as a treatment. And trust me, too much oil makes your hair very greasy. It'll look like you haven't washed your hair, but just a small amount is perfect. So make sure you brush it thoroughly through your hair before you add any more drops. Whether I'm going to air dry or blow dry, I then just brush through the middle and let it fall into a natural part. If I'm going to air dry my hair, I make sure to let it dry before sleeping on it, as that can cause a lot of damage. And then I tend to put it into a loose braid and just let it air dry. The most important thing with blow drying is to make sure that you're paying attention to the direction of airflow. Our hair has an outer layer called a cuticle, where there's overlapping layers or scaling that go from the root to the end. If you blow dry against that cuticle direction, it's damaging, and those cuticle scales can lift, making your hair look rough and frizzy. So never flip your hair upside down and blow dry it, or just kind of haphazardly blow dry back and forth in all directions. Make sure you're always pointing the airflow in the same direction from the root to the end of your hair, depending on how you're actually directing the hair. So if you're putting a brush through it, you'll still follow that hair, or if you're pulling it forward, you still follow the hair like I'm showing here. The other thing is that we always want to focus the heat at the roots and not the ends. So whether you're using your paddle brush or your fingers, you can see I'm keeping that blow dryer closer to my roots, especially at the beginning of my blow dry, because this is where all the wetness is, and my brush or my fingers will continue to pull that heat through the ends, drying them without needing to direct the heat right at the ends. This will help protect your hair from that heat damage. I love using a paddle brush for this first overall blow dry, as you can direct your hair in all different directions, allowing that blow dryer to follow the direction of the paddle. And then I like to section the hair at the ear level and secure that upper section. I like to call it a twist and clip because I always brush through that top part, helping to calm it down, twist it gently, and then clip it into a clip on the top of my head. It keeps it out of the way, but it also really helps to calm the hair and give it more of a smooth finish just by clipping it up out of the way. And I'll always clip up that crown section and fully dry the bottom section first. by running my fingers through it, and then I'll use either a round brush or a paddle brush. A round brush when I want my hair to be extra smooth or if I'm going to leave it straight. And making sure again that you have the right angle. You can see there when I had the wrong angle of air, my hair was just a big frizz ball. And if you didn't know this about a blow dryer, this is going to make the biggest difference in how calm your hair looks after blow drying versus frizzy. I used to blow dry my hair when I was young, upside down, all different ways haphazardly, and my hair would be a huge frizz ball before actually curling it or straightening it. This is by far the best and easiest thing that you can do to change the final look of your hair and make those curls hold a lot better. It may seem counterintuitive if your hair is smoother that it won't hold the curl, but actually the smoother that the hair is, the less frizzy, the more I find that the curls will actually hold. And I highly recommend sectioning that hair in small sections and blow drying it. This makes it so much easier and you can ensure that it's all completely dry. If you try to use a hot curling iron or straightener on hair that is still damp, you will see steam coming off of it, and this will be a sign, nope, my hair is not dry enough. It can cause a lot of damage, so you want to make sure that your hair is completely dry. And the way you can tell this is if you've given the hair a moment or two to cool down from the blow dryer and it still feels cold, this means that it's still wet and you need to continue drying your hair until once you've given it a minute or two to cool down, it feels room temperature and no longer cold. Only using your curling iron or straightener once your hair is completely dry will ensure it doesn't get frizzy. Now we're ready to curl the hair, but sometimes you're just in a huge rush. After that long blow dry, you just need to get out of there. So I will just do a little braid in my hair. This will help really calm the hair. When I take it out of the braid, there'll be a little bit of a natural curl, and this really helps when I'm curling my hair. When we're choosing a curling iron, I like to use a pointed tip barrel iron. There's no clamp, and in fact, sometimes women get afraid of this, but it actually is a lot easier to use than the clamp. And I love the versatility. The pointed tip allows you to create a variety of curls and styles by wrapping your hair at different points on the barrel. And wrapping the hair near the root of the tapered barrel creates tighter curls, adding lift and volume. I've already prepped and protected my hair, so now I'm going to section it. I recommend doing 2 sections at first, one right at the ear level, twisting and securing the top, and then split the bottom section into 2 and take small sections at a time. Always comb through that section to make sure it's nice and smooth and flat. Then hold the wand in the hand that's on the opposite side of your head from the section you're planning to curl. Place the base of the wand at the roots with the narrow end of the barrel pointing down, and use your other hand to wrap the length of your hair around the wand, working your way without overlapping. You can leave the ends out slightly like I do, or wrap them around the smallest part of the wand, depending on your preference. Then hold the curl for 5 to 8 seconds, never more than 10 to 12 seconds, and gently pull the wand away from your head. If you're a newbie to using a barrel iron, I highly recommend using a heat-proof glove. My curling iron came with one, but I've been using this iron, literally the same one, for at least 10 years now, so I know exactly how to use it. However, I would highly recommend doing so if it's your first time, as it can be dangerous. You can curl all the hair in the same direction, or you can try alternating directions as you go for a more natural look. It's important to keep the hair as flat as possible when you curl and avoid layering the hair on the barrel, because it will lead to uneven heating of the section. When releasing the curl, you can either pull the end gently to create a loose, beachy, kind of irregular curl, or you can allow the curl to fall gently into the palm of your hand and cup your newly formed curl in your hand for another 3 to 5 seconds before letting it drop down. If your hair doesn't seem to hold curl very well, this will help each curl hold its shape better. When you're creating your sections for the crown part of your hair, I like to take about an inch section at a time. Just above the ear now, taking an inch and going back to the center. Then, when creating the remaining sections, think about the style you're looking to achieve. The direction you part the smaller sections as you curl will affect the final style. So parting in horizontal sections add volume at the root, and vertical sections create a looser, natural look. Alternating the direction of the barrel when curling and alternating the thickness of your section can give a more natural look. When doing the face framing layers, even the ones near the ear, I like to grab a larger section and hold for about half the time. This makes it a little more gentle right around the face, and you can pull gently at the root to take away some of that intense volume around the ear. And then I continue around the head, continuing to secure the upper sections of the crown and slowly making my way through, creating small sections at once, brushing through to make each section that I curl nice and smooth before curling from the root to the end. Make sure not to touch the curls until they're cooled completely. I don't fiddle with mine at all if possible, except for to gently pull if that's the beachy look that I'm going for. If you want a really full look, don't even pull at the ends. Cup that hair and let it hold for a few seconds before releasing it. And another thing to note is I always work from the back to the front, doing the face framing layers last. And it may seem with such thick hair, this takes forever. I can't believe you do this. However, I only curl my hair once a week. I wash it once every 5 days. And the last 2 days, I'll tend to make a braid or wear a nice hat, something along that line. So really, I'm using a lot less heat on my hair and overall spending a lot less time. If you do this with thick, coarse hair, your curls will last all week, literally changing styles each day, a little bit looser, beachier curls towards the last day before I wash. And I just love it, as it may take me a while the first day, but then it takes me minutes every other day. Once I get close to the face framing layers, I like to take slightly larger sections and make sure to curl the hair away from the face. This makes the curls a little softer and gives a softer look around the face. Once you finish the entire head, make sure to let the hair cool completely before touching it. Then you can shake it out or separate it with your fingers. I recommend not touching it with a brush at this point, as it will help the curls to hold longer. So on day 2 to 5, then I'll use a wide tooth comb or a paddle brush to give some nice beachy waves. Then time to finish your style. I know you're going to be tempted to put hairspray on it, but this will make your hair not last as long. So I highly recommend using a drop or two of the hair oil and gently running your fingers through the hair with it on, or even a little texturizing powder if you really need the texture. Then you'll have gorgeous curls that will last for days, and you'll have people asking you, how do you get your hair to look like that? To make your curls last 5 days, remember, you need to make sure to wash your hair twice, where the second wash you get lots of suds. Avoid heavy styling products, and if you need to use hairspray or wax, apply it sparingly after curling. Curl your hair tighter than your desired look because they will fall into a loose curl by day 3. To get tighter curls, use a smaller barrel, take smaller sections, and keep the iron on the section just a little bit longer. And lastly, use a shower cap with a liner to protect your curls from the moisture that can bounce off your shoulders when in the shower. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I hope you found this useful. And please give me a thumbs up if you liked the video and subscribe for more do-it-yourself beauty tips.